Well, let's bring in our CTV News political analyst, Eric Kam. You enjoyed that last part by the looks of it, Eric.
Yeah, you guys weren't supposed to see that.
Quite the night. Trump winning. Did he win, though?
There are a lot of people who are suggesting that perhaps he did not because Nikki Haley did get 40% of the vote. But look, if we go back to 2008, where Hillary Clinton received more than 17 million votes in the primary when she was running against Barack Obama, there was growing concern that would Barack Obama be able to bring those 17 million voters into the fold? We saw that he did. In fact, we saw a fractured situation in 2016 with Donald Trump. And of course, Ted Cruz unwilling to support Donald Trump at the actual convention. But nevertheless, Donald Trump went on to become president of the United States. And I think what we're seeing play out here is no different than what we have seen in these previous contests as well. And so I do believe that when Nikki Haley eventually gets out of this race, Donald Trump will begin the process of attempting to try to bring and coalesce many of those voters back into the fold. One other thing that we have to remember also is that in many of these early voting contests for the Republican side, they do have open primaries. In fact, yesterday I was at a polling station here in Columbia, South Carolina, where I was told that the expectation was that Democratic voters who did not vote in the Democratic primary were supposed to actually vote in the Republican primary and support Nikki Haley. So the question becomes, are we seeing actual Nikki Haley voters, or are we seeing Democrats actually move over and vote in a Republican primary? Now, as we move into Super Tuesday, many of those states are not going to have open primaries, and I think that's going to make it even that much more difficult for Nikki Haley.
Will she step down at that point? She's vowed to stay at least until Super Tuesday, and there's a bunch of votes coming up before that. Is she done after that?
I believe so. I believe by March 19th, I think we will see where Donald Trump will have secured the number of delegates that he will need, because many of those states on Super Tuesday and the following Super Tuesday on March 12th, you're going to see a lot of those states become winner take all. And even last night in South Carolina, where there is those who suggest that perhaps Donald Trump didn't have as big a night as he did, we're basically talking about a total of 50 delegates. And it looks like if Nikki Haley actually secured any, it's only 3 that she may have secured in the Charleston area. So it looks like Donald Trump is going to walk away with either 47 or all 50 of the delegates. And I suspect we're going to see Donald Trump continue to do that, particularly on Super Tuesday as well.
And why is Haley staying in? Staying in? Is she setting herself up for 2028, or does she just want to give some opposition to Trump right now?
I think the reason we're seeing Nikki Haley stay in this race is because I think donors, those deep-pocketed whales that they're called, who are funding her campaign, they want her in this race. Look, Donald Trump, even though he is, has a glide path to the nomination, there's still no guarantee that he is actually going to stand as president. More importantly, because now we know that he actually has a criminal trial starting on March 25th, there is growing concern about what that will mean for the top of the ticket and also what it means for those candidates down low as well. And I think what Nikki Haley is doing is attempting to showcase to the party that if, in fact, Donald Trump is not there by the convention, she's willing to step in, and she continues to tout her competitive advantage against incumbent President Joe Biden.
Okay, let's have some fun. Trump has to step down. How does Haley do?
Now, that's a really good question, because I do believe if, in fact, Trump is not in this, I think you will see other Republicans get in. And I also think there will be a massive, massive fight where we could actually see a real nominating contest on the actual floor of the convention to determine who the nominee is. Because, again, right now, Nikki Haley still doesn't have the delegates to be competitive, even if she were to try to take this fight to the convention.
Okay, assuming Trump does survive everything that is going on right now, will Republicans come out to vote for him? Will they stay home? How do you see this unfolding over the next few months?
Again, so much is up in the air right now. Donald Trump has to get through these criminal trials, and polling data overwhelmingly shows that if Donald Trump is convicted in any of these criminal trials, including the Manhattan case, where many don't appear to think that it's as serious as the other cases, many voters have stated that they will stay away from Donald Trump, and that could prove damaging. In addition to that, Donald Trump has now less than 30 days to pay a nearly $500 million judgment. And if he doesn't do that, we're going to see the New York Attorney General begin to seize assets. So Donald Trump needs to actually coalesce this party sooner rather than later so he can start using those RNC resources to pay some of these legal expenses that he's got.
Okay. Eric, always appreciate your insight. Thank you.